Tonight on Sports Talk, still roaring over Rory. Hear from one of Northern Ireland's own about Mr. McIlroy, his monumental major, and how he just might mirror Tiger in more ways than one. He was known as the big man, but did you know that Clarence Clemens had sport ties to Maryland? Alex talks to one of his former teammates. Plus, this fishtail was real, and so was the rest of him. Grab a pint. The Northern Ireland version of Sports Talk with Alex Parker starts now.
Another US Open champion from Northern Ireland.
I was going to kiddingly say that you were looking live at Northern Ireland. That's not live, that's on tape. They may still be doing this in Northern Ireland. They know how to have fun there, and they are sure to be celebrating still after Rory McIlroy's historic run at the US Open here in Congressional. Hey everybody, welcome to Sports Talk. I am Alex Parker, and you heard that Open before the Open, and there was a wonderful accent. And I'm joined by the man who has provided that wonderful stuff. But first, a history lesson. Where the heck is Northern Ireland? It's hard to say. Here we go. Ireland to the south. Northern Ireland, about the size of Rhode Island. Rory McIlroy is from, it looks like Holywood. It's Hollywood. We'll confirm that in about 10 seconds. This is what we're talking about. The man joining me now is Aidan Cassidy. I got to meet him yesterday. That's a long story. Thanks so much for being here.
It's a pleasure, Alex.
You are the Deputy Director of the Northern Ireland Bureau.
Yes, indeed.
Which falls under the British
Embassy.
Yeah,
we represent the Northern Ireland executive's interest in the United States, and I have to say it's a fantastic opportunity to come along here, Alex, to join you tonight to celebrate and yet another fantastic sporting result from Northern Ireland.
I came out yesterday to meet you and to see how the folks in Northern Ireland, I really have a hard time saying this, Northern Ireland were faring with this. You were just beaming. You look like you just had another baby.
Yeah.
Have you gotten over this yet?
I mean, this is just fantastic, Alex. I mean, when you think of it, this is one of Northern Ireland's probably greatest sporting achievements, coming on the back, of course, of Graham McDowell's success last year, and, dare I say, our friend Darren Clarke, who was very successful in Madrid recently. So 3 victories in the last 12 months. We have to be delighted.
Am I right, the size of Rhode Island?
Yes, Northern Ireland's a population of about 1.7 million people, which is a small country. But we're immensely proud, obviously, of our golfers and what we can achieve. And, I mean, I think when you look at it, back-to-back winners in the Open, and the success that we've had in golf. I mean, we've been playing golf for 130 years in Northern Ireland. Our first course was Royal Belfast. So we have a long history in this. So it's fantastic and fitting that we should have a new Open champion.
We saw the video of the folks in the pub.
Yeah.
What is it like back home? What are people saying about this?
This is just amazing. I mean, people are very passionate in Northern Ireland. They're passionate about so many things, but particularly their sport and particularly golf. And it's fair to say, you know, that Northern Ireland, this has been a huge boost for Northern Ireland. Our First Minister and Deputy First Minister were the first to publicly acknowledge Rory's success in the early hours, I say, of Monday morning. And there was a debate in our Northern Ireland Assembly. And what we're going to do now is our executive is going to put on a big celebration party for Rory when he gets the opportunity.
How big is he back there? Tiger Woods is as big as you get here. Michael Jordan, others. What is Rory like? What do folks think of this guy back home?
Rory's a typical guy from Northern Ireland. He's a down-to-earth guy. He's very focused, and he's a very good golfer. So we're hugely proud of him. Everybody buys into the Rory story. And I think, I mean, I've had calls from all over the world and emails from New Zealand, Australia, congratulating Northern Ireland on yet another fantastic success.
What is it about him that, we talked about this yesterday at your bureau there in Northwest Washington. It feels like folks in the United States have sort of, we like front runners here, okay? Yeah, when the Redskins win, we're all aboard, okay?
Yes.
What is it about him that seems to have everybody liking him? You don't have to be from Northern Ireland, if I can say it correctly, to love this guy. We're all sort of on this. Why is that, you think?
Well, I think, you know, everybody respects the fact that Rory is a fantastic athlete. He had the disappointment at Augusta. I think everybody likes the underdog. Rory was coming into this tournament with that baggage, but he certainly got rid of that baggage very quickly. And I was up at the Congressional, which is a wonderful course, on Thursday, and I followed Rory, and I was astounded by the support that he got from the US golfing audience, and particularly from the young kids. And I think that young US youngsters now see Rory as essentially the people's champion. They can relate to him. He's a nice guy and he's receptive, and I see him signing autographs, and he's completely open to the people. So he's just basically a down-to-earth guy from Northern Ireland who happens to be very good at golf.
It seems to me, okay, Graham McDowell won a year ago. Nobody sort of anointed him. He's a young guy.
Yeah.
Nobody anointed him the next Tiger. Charles Schwartzel won the Masters. Young guy.
Yeah.
Nobody said he's the next Tiger. Rory, in the last 48 hours, if I had a dime for every headline that said next Tiger question mark or not, is it too much pressure on this kid?
No, I think the kid's obviously going to face an enormous amount of pressure being an international superstar. But I think what he's shown over the last couple of weeks is resilience. He's shown maturity, and he's shown composure. And he's also a balanced guy. This guy came from going down to Haiti to see the difficulties there as an ambassador. And it shows you the other side of the Rory McIlroy, the compassionate side in his nature. And then to come up here and then to turn on that display was just fantastic. So I think Rory is a balanced guy. He has an old head on young shoulders, as we say at home. And I have no doubt that we will see him winning many majors in the future. And I think he will probably be the iconic guy for young sports star, or for young sports people in the future, in terms of this is a guy they can look up to and idolise. But in terms of what he has achieved, I mean, the Rory story is going around the world. Everybody relates to him, and he's from Northern Ireland.
When I first met you yesterday, and I said, how you doing? And you gave me a Northern Ireland expression, which meant you were really psyched. What was that? It was something with a bunch of syllables. I'm blah, 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 blah.
Well, I suppose I said that we're having great crack, but I better be careful with that.
You got to be careful with crack around here.
Because it's C-R-A-I-C. It's an Irish expression for having enormous fun. And we from Northern Ireland enjoy a party as much as anybody.
You think?
Yeah. And Rory made it back to Northern Ireland last night. I understand there's a party in Hollywood tomorrow night, and I think in terms of the performance that Rory put on, I think the people in Hollywood could give him his own Oscar.
There you go. You're not going anywhere. I could listen to this voice for days on end. You watched the show. We got the clip here. You were actually watching this clip years ago when Rory did his little Tiger Woods imitation on Mike Douglas. Yeah. We'll talk about this with Aidan Cassidy from the Northern Ireland, I think I can say it, Northern Ireland Bureau. We'll be right back.
Running out all the time. Look out for this guy. If the Americans have Tiger Woods, we have young Roy, and believe you me, this boy can hit the ball. I watched him. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
That is the Jerry Kelly show, which apparently is sort of the David Letterman show over in Northern Ireland. I'm joined by Aidan Cassidy of the Northern Ireland Bureau of the British Embassy. Aidan, you were watching this live when it happened?
Yes, I was indeed, Alex. I mean, in watching that, I mean, there was no doubt that Rory was destined for greatness. He appeared on this television show with Jerry Kelly, and he showed how he could pitch these balls. But it was really the first exposure we got in Northern Ireland to the potential of this young guy.
So adorable.
Absolutely.
Tiger, I don't know if you've seen it, but Tiger Woods, when he was just yay big, he was on the Mike Douglas show 20, 30 years ago, and he's doing the same deal.
Right.
He really does seem to be following in Tiger's footsteps. That is a dangerous slope. Tiger's got 14 of them. This guy's got one, and I just hope that there isn't too much pressure from people like us and fans to expect 10 majors in the next 5 years. Your country is so darn beautiful. I think we have video of Rory's home course and him practicing. How do you like Congressional's course compared to what you guys are used to?
Yeah, Congressional was an absolutely beautiful course, fantastic indeed. I mean, the Lough Erne Hotel, the Lough Erne Resort in County Fermanagh, which was designed by Faldo, is a fabulous course and is the latest jewel in the Northern Ireland crown. I mean, we also have Royal Portrush and Royal County Down, which are probably in the top 10 golf courses in the world. So we're very rich in terms of what we have got to offer. And what I would say to your viewers is, you've seen the way our golfers play. Come over and see what we've got on offer.
Come on over and shoot 130 and get a bunch of balls stuck in a bunker. Come on over.
We have golf courses, Alex, for every skill. I mean, I'm a 26 handicapper, so you can imagine.
I'm probably behind you. I'll take you up on it. We'll do this thing. Well, do we have these beautiful still pictures of Northern Ireland? Some of these pictures take your breath away. What are you doing here?
Well, that's
look at this.
That's Lough Erne Resort, and that's the new golf course designed by Faldo. It's an absolutely beautiful course. It's got rave reviews. It was the best course, I think, in the United Kingdom. But we have 50 others.
Really?
Yeah, and you know, it's such we have such rich golf courses. I think that's the Emerald Isle on the 10th hole at the Lough Erne Golf. As you can see, it's a magnificent.
That doesn't look like Tyson's to me.
No, it's definitely not Tyson's.
How hot is it? What's the weather deal? Does it snow there or no?
It snows occasionally in the winter, but we have a very mild climate, and it's ideal for golf, as you can see. Have a look at the colour of the fairways there. That shows you we have a very temperate climate.
I think I see my ball in the water over there on the right.
No, that's mine, actually.
How do I get a Sports Talk gig over in Northern Ireland? Are they looking for the Alex Parker Show? I could replace Jerry Kelly.
You could indeed. You know, I think Jerry may have something to say about it now, but you could indeed.
You and your staff were so nice to us yesterday. We came over to talk to you.
Thank you.
Your Tony, your right-hand man there was wonderful. How was your intern doing from Belfast?
I think the intern was fascinated to see the interest that there is in the United States. And of course, the one thing is, there's such a huge interest in Ireland. I mean, there are 40 million Americans have an Irish background, of which 20 million have a Scots-Irish background. Yep. So you don't have to scratch too far till you find out that you're Irish. So our intern, Brona, has been really impressed in terms of the support that we get for Northern Ireland, and the fact that coming on a week that Rory does the business for us is fantastic, Alex.
Speaking of interns, Jemmy, I need you. Everybody's talking about Tiger or Rory, who's number one. This is really why we brought you here. Here we go. Budweiser, the great American beer, Guinness. That's what you know.
Yeah.
What's better?
Well, I'm going to...
you get to take home your choice.
Well, I'm going to sit...
A parting gift.
I'm going to sit in the fence and say that I prefer Bushmills whiskey, which comes from Bushmills in County Antrim, and it's the oldest licensed distillery in the world.
Is that what those folks were drinking when they were watching the thing in the pub?
They were indeed.
You're taking one of these home with you as a parting gift. It was so nice of you to come in.
Yeah, well,
your choice.
Well, I'll take the Guinness.
Everybody said he's going to take the Guinness. I said, no, he might not. He's taking the Guinness. Aidan Cassidy, thank you so much.
Not at all.
Great to meet you.
That was a pleasure.
Good luck at the Open Championship.
Thank you.
If he wins that one, you're coming back.
Thank you very much.
You may come back anyway. Stay right where you are. And when we come back, it was a sort of a sad day in sports this week. This guy right here, you've heard of Clarence Clemens. Yeah. He passed away at age 69. I did not know until this weekend. I think a lot of you didn't know. He played football right in our area. I'll talk to one of his former teammates when the Parker and Cassidy Budweiser Guinness show rolls on. That is the unmistakable sax solo of one Clarence Clemens, the big man. There he is with Bruce Springsteen. Arguably the most famous sort of sidekick in rock and roll. Clarence, as I'm sure you know, passed away after a stroke. He passed away at age 69 on Saturday. This is maybe his most famous solo. It goes on forever and it never gets old. Jungle Land. Welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm Alex Parker. I did not know this, and I've worked in sports and I've worked around here for a long time. I did not know that Clarence Clemens played college football essentially in our area. UMES, University of Maryland Eastern Shore, back in the day. They don't have football now. Back in the day was Maryland State. Number 50 there, this would be in the 60s, is Clarence Clemens, the big man, who was a star tackle, and guard, and was in a car accident, and his football career was cut short. He had designs on the NFL. One of his former teammates, not in that picture, is Emerson Boozer, who went on to play for the New York Jets and actually win a Super Bowl III with Joe Namath. Emerson Boozer, Art Shell also went to Maryland State. It is a school with a rich football tradition that unfortunately no longer has a football program. A little while ago, I caught up with Emerson Boozer to talk about his former teammate, Clarence Clemens.
He's now joined there by Emerson Boozer.
How did you meet Clarence Clemens? Do you remember the first time?
Yes, first time I met him was on the football field. I met Clarence in training 1962.
What type of player was he?
Clarence was a very good player. Matter of fact, he was big, he had size, he could run, and he was quick. He played both center and guard.
Was he musically inclined then? Did you know that he was this wonderful musician? How did that come to be?
You couldn't sleep at night. If you were on the same floor with him, you couldn't sleep at night because you'd hear that sax. He'd be blowing that sax. He was musically inclined then. He came there on football music scholarship.
Wow, was he?
He was into his music then.
Could you tell that he was sort of what we'll call a world-class musician? Or, I mean, there were musicians, and then there were musicians. Did you know he was that good back then?
Yes, I knew he was good, but he was playing basically rhythm and blues, rock kind of stuff. And sounding like some of the other saxophonists that were popular with hit records, things of that nature.
I read something over the weekend that he wanted to play pro football and may have had a chance at that, but then was in some sort of, was he in an auto accident?
Yes, he had an auto accident because he traveled around the state of Maryland, Delaware, and even into New York. I think that had he had 2 more years of college ball, he would have made it at Cleveland.
What, when you sort of watched his, what would be a meteoric rise with Bruce Springsteen, how did you react to that, to watch this guy that you play with and you knew become a huge, huge rock star?
I was having lunch one day in the city, probably 75, 76, somewhere in there, maybe 77, but I ran into Clarence at a restaurant down in the Wall Street area. And we had a little chat. We were getting reacquainted because I hadn't seen him since I left school, and he left school. And I asked him how was he doing with his music. He said he's doing great with his music. He's playing down in South Jersey, and he had just met a young. This is how he called it. I just met a blue-eyed soul brother that's going to make me a lot of money. He says, who is this guy? He said, the guy by the name of Bruce Springsteen. Don't forget the name. And he invited me to come down and hear them play a weekend. And I took him up on it, went down, and I got a chance to hear Bruce. And I pretty much fell in love with him at that time, Bruce Springsteen, because Bruce was a crooner. He could sing, and he had the audience in his hands.
Your reaction when you heard the very sad news over the weekend?
I was in prayer for him the week that I heard that he'd had the massive stroke. Certainly, following the outcome of it, after going through surgery, I thought he might survive. But then hearing the news over the weekend kind of puts a lot of dampness on your thoughts of him.
Mr. Emerson Boozer, thank you so much for taking some time out. I appreciate it so much. Have a great rest of your week.
And thank you too, Alex. It's been great, and thank you for having me on.
Emerson Boozer, if you believe in karma and stuff like that, the third race at Monmouth Park, New Jersey, one day after Clarence Clemens died, we have the video, a horse named E Street Shuffle won this thing. How does that happen? Clarence Clemens, rest in peace, my man. Here we go. We'll go to break, sound up with E Street Shuffle taking this thing. We'll be right back.
E Street Shuffle at the 8th pole, a 4-length lead. Maria's Pass, Kaylee's Song next, then Mose Cutter and DJ Campari. It's all E Street Shuffle and Elvis Trujillo in a runaway. E Street Shuffle by 8. And then come Kaylee's Song, followed by mansions of glory and suicide machines.
Sprung from cages on Highway 9. Come on, baby, gon' fishing too. Bet your life your sweet wife, she gon' catch more fish than you.
Okay, here's the deal. 143-pound catfish was caught on the Virginia-North Carolina border, I believe, yesterday. That may very well be a world record. Joining me now on the phone, the guy, Dallas Weston, who took that picture. Dallas, how are you?
Doing real well. How are you doing?
Good. How'd that fish look up close and personal?
Big. Really big.
You've gotten tons of calls, myself, AP, all the networks called you. How crazy is it down there in Chase City, Virginia today?
About 6 months ago, Microsoft announced that they were investing $500 million in a new data center in our county. This has gotten more attention than that did.
Dallas, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with all the coverage. Have a little piece of that thing, would you? I think it'll feed about 7 or 8. Dallas, thanks for joining us. Best of luck down there.
Hey, y'all
enjoy
have
all the fame. Thank you to Aidan Cassidy, Emerson Boozer, and Dallas Weston. I'm Alex Parker, Sports Talk. Take care.